Okay, so we are ready to hopefully figure out who did the murder. So welcome everyone to the stream, and I hope that the sound and all the stuff is still fine. Even though I haven't played. Oh, I have to do this. I don't want my phone to be making sounds when I stream. Okay. Yes. So we were about to do the investigation last time when I ended off. So that is what we jump into from the start today. This person got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder. Okay, so no important stuff there. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. What's the meaning behind it? Bloodlust. I can feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body.
Very strange.
But the more I look, the more strange it all seems. This must be Genocide Jack's handwriting. Well, but
What?
we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and there's a bloodstain. There is a bloodstain. There's a bloodstain on the dumbbell. The Momokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. But does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder
That's
weapon?
right.
I don't imagine it could have been anyone else. I don't imagine it could have been anything else but anyone. Locker room dumbbell has been added to this. There was two things on the floor. There's a fresh bloodstain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with blood during the murder. Let's talk to you. Because you probably have some insight. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going over every inch of the lifeless body. You're very strange for me, you know? Being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble. Seem to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. Are there anything else I can attack with? I can ask those two, but I don't think they have any useful information. The dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help wondering what it might be. Monokuma's account. Maybe actually a good idea to talk to those. I use the locker room all the time. Now it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than cared here. She was very light. That is true. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still.
Well,
I still think she came here on her own by choice. What makes you say that? She's been talking a lot lately about she wants to get stronger. But you're saying she came here about. But wow. So you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Momoko files, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead she came to exercise in the middle of the night.
However,
Perhaps. But it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needs support from others. So, you're saying she would have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret? But that she also would have come with someone else. It's a possibility, I think. Now I believe it's about time for us to move on. Huh? Already?
What?
Nucleus won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of the case. That's true, but
Let's go.
if you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. I get caught up with the wrong person this time. So, this is our next location. Huh? This place is related to investigation. Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't write. I think I read that wrong. Okay, let's see. A lot of things to check. If I remember right, the card reader is meant to work with the handbooks, right?
What?
Do I have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Momokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
Yes, please, I have 3 wishes. You call for me? Has he been here? Has he been? Has he been domesticated? Wow. I just had to rate that word 2 or 3 times in my head first. It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
I have a beard here in my mouth. Only reason to hate a beard is because you get it in your mouth all the time. Especially if it's a big one, like I have. Sorry. Yes, the card reader have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter a locker room corresponding to the gender list in the individual handbook. And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through, while the door is locked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there were some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling monitor Gatling gun would initiative a Swiss cheese slaughter. And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their e-handbook. The handbook, right? Correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct. So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room, and only boys can go into the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey Makoto, I can see right through you. I see you right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So, in other words,
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. Yeah, I'm thinking more like someone stole an e-handbook because they specifically only said you cannot lend it out. But am I wrong? You should pay close attention in the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. Oh, you can borrow it. Oh, yeah, so loaning is when you give it to someone else, say, hey, can you hold on for this for me? But if I ask, hey, can I borrow your thing and then give it to me, then it's another... Wow, I didn't even think about that. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Well, I found another one, I guess. Knowing you, I wouldn't bet you're created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course. What am I? That I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people. They're not people anymore. They're things.
Yep.
Got it? Got it? Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying there's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it. So,
Why you?
so sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and and get your food together.
Unbelievable.
Kiss friendly apparently. Or else I'll change you with. Or else I'll charge you with criminal neglect. No more questions. Figure out the rest on your own damn self.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are. Wow. I know you are unfortunate, lacking in mental faculties. So I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. Card reader has been added to the trust bullets. So that was probably the only thing I needed there. We came to the main hall. So, what are you looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? The hunk of metal logged in the entrance seems some kind of machine. I don't really think there's anything here. That is new. I'm pretty sure. There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? It's an e-handbook? No, wait. There's 3 of them. But what are they doing here? So you finally found them. Huh. Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then, these 3 handbooks belongs to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka. You can go ahead and confirm it for yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and then and when I did, you're right. This is Sayaka's handbook. Now, do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. Oh, yeah, so they borrowed it from one of the dead ones that they didn't get loaned, I guess. You should pay close attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I see. Yeah, now I understand. Main hall e-handbooks has been added to the troop bullet. Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. Then the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get a pwned with dozens of baseballs. Pwned with baseball. Yeah. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment was led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for a handbook to break doing that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey, hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Now I'm really angry!
Okay. What? That e-handbook is essential to student life here. crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it will break that easily. But it did.
That's impossible!
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't go to crap. Oh, but even my amazing handbook doesn't have one single weak point. Even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you!
What is the secret? I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
The deer must have broken it somehow without realizing that it was that its weakness was, right? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think this handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be? Leaving the question hanging in the air when Mukuma disappeared. Again. What just happened? Momokuma said it was not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Okay then. This should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in honest and track down the true culprit. Wow. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not correct. Huh? Not correct? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Markia? To be exact, not correct. Certainly, I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then you really think, you truly believe Genocide Jack is one of the one who killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. The murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right?
What?
There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And that nickname did, and what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he killed thousands of people, but that's gotta be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented, demented psychotic killer like that? Wow. Don't give me all the hard words. You're not wrong to wonder, but words mean little right now. I have something that will prove it, and I can show you. Is he saying the same thing? Yeah.
Don't make me.
And I have a basis to believe that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us. Okay. Here's more to say. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will prove all the evidence you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one who killed Chihiro. Evidence? Does someone something like that really? Hey, you two. Big trouble. Need your help.
I don't have time to play with you.
We're busy. Leave us alone.
I mean,
But it's an emergency. Emergency. Come on, please. You gotta help me.
please.
This is serious. Please, you gotta help me. Just go down, okay? You know.
I mean,
But it's an emergency. An emergency. What happened?
well,
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd say just say no, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, hurry. Wait for us, you know.
Let's go.
It looks like she headed to the dorms, to Toko's room, most likely. You're right. Well, thank you for just bringing me here. Which room is hers? This one. Is Toko inside? Is Toko inside? Some kind of emergency? Okay, do I have to talk to him? I really like the cross cam.
Ignorance.
You're talking to the wrong person. You wasted our space. Well, I tried to go in. Or maybe I have to talk to you instead. I actually didn't see she was there. You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So, what's the emergency?
So,
Well, I don't know what happened in the girls' locker room. We had Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her. You know, see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out, and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
You should try talking to her yourself. Yeah, good idea. Can I knock on the door now? I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open slowly and silently. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
Oh, nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you holding yourself up in your room.
leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in on my face. What was that? It's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to buzz down the door, but it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bear her door. Does she think the same thing as Bakya? Does she think that the serial killer Genocide Jax really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko is so scared?
But
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Is there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Actually, there is. Hey, Gaga, you think you could ask her to come out of her room? I mean,
That's fine.
sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Yakuya? Wow. I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of the door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments,
what do you want?
leave me alone. You're all so annoying. Bakura,
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep my promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it out. Pull it off, not out. Also, don't pull it out. Don't want that. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on. Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise.
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of it. Of her. Yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya? And I heard to catch up. So where are we going now? I tried to talk to him several times as we walked. But he didn't even look back, let alone said anything. He just kept on walking toward his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. It's more like his study hall now than the library. Yes, the evidence that proves wow. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Maybe there's something to do with some of these. There's no point in checking there. We need to find the real clues. I don't remember this on the table anymore. I actually aimed for the table. Oh, maybe not this. Iceland. Knock it off. What does a disc land? Okay, let's do it right this time. I'm actually confused to what it could be right now. A surveillance camera. Know what's happening, and there's still forces us go through with this. This is one of the monsters from Culprit, and I think I can't be right now. What the hell? I am actually not sure what he wants me to look at. Okay, I'm pretty sure I pressed... Oh right, I haven't been in here. If I remember, on the other side of this door is the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. I actually forgot that door. I thought it was the door to go outside again on the hallway, not in. Oh, here.
Let's go.
It'll all makes sense once you're inside. Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust too.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Okay, so this other stuff typed with files. Without really thinking about it, I pick one at random. Oh, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
that's right.
That's a report on a physical assassination. Wow. Assassination. Oh, it was right. The original. Wow. The original is kept at the National Library. It wouldn't be declassified or anything 30. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshair you might wind up in for picking it out. Picking at it. Without making a sound, I'll return the file to the shelf. Actually, I wanted to press this one down here first. There's a wooden box, it's empty. Although, judging by the smother and the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it were. There was an extension cord plugged in there, and it proved very useful while it was in the library. Extension cord, huh? How many more things we have to Let's check another lamp! Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Bagger using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with the lamp? It was here before, then I moved it. Then I moved it over here. It's too dark over here, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Okay, we have 3 more things to take on. There's so many files stuffed into the seal. What is in all these things?
That's enough.
The rumors are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean like members of the diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappointed for, if you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. There's a ton of thick files stuffed into the bookshelves. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. These files are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't even want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files were investigation reports related to different cold cases. These are intensive documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you expect to leak. Huh? So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in this library is because of this room right here.
Interesting.
It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. It's a manifest. This can't be real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guess. That's your guy's problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it as a lie. Well, it's not that. It's not. It's not that. It's just. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power Host Peak truly wields, or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usually normal, ordinary, simple. These things don't exist anymore in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a sec, you're saying you read all documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family, wow, oh, my family. I need to learn to read. My family has a reading room, just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of governmental-related documents. This includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So, in other words,
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of the council, and I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day hand the world to my will. Bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all the levels of this world backwards and forward. So whenever I have time, I have to review whatever documents and material that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the material gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. What always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports had always been a hobby of mine, ever since I was little. It's weird. It's excellent mental exercise. I solved more than a few of these cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my secret favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file now. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that in every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victim is murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It is exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victim are suspended, the only one who knows about the particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about the aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself know about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat killer. It's a real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That's right. There is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. The Genocide Jack really is. Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us.
interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be a good for you to take a look at what you already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down to your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. I think that's it. Byakuya, about the Genocide Jack case file. Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime has all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack victims ran on the several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda 17, Shoji Gaku 23, Kanu Issei 14, Takeshi Yashida 30. Yeah, but they don't match up with the murder of Chihiro because of all the scissors there's here. A lot of other names. There was no end to it. I will not try to read out all the names. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left on the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? Profiling results. All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reasons for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words,
the key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. Split personality? Like the kind of thing you see on TV? So, I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Or maybe it really isn't, I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file has been added to the true bullets. Oh, I just need a drink. Again, there's so fucking much reading in this game. Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anyway, but here, we finished our business here, haven't we? Oh, wait, Byakuya. As usual, Byakuya turned to death without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensiveness. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the vacation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he asked me to join him, he cut me off. And then I felt like it was some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack, he's the one who killed Chihiro, and the murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out, no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And and the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Well, at least I'll be at the second floor, so it's a short sprint to go over here. Do you have any information? Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprits.
I feel as if
Another stat increase for me. Evidence. What did you find? I can't reveal that just yet. But I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah. Miss Ludenberg said she witnesses something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well,
She refused to
would
tell me.
seem-
It's like when a girl bullies a boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where is Liz now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's gonna be? Okay, let's check the locker rooms first, and then I could go to the storage room afterwards. Yeah, this is not the same poster. So, huh? This poster. It looks weird. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Boys' locker room carpet has been added to my investigation thing. I think that is all that's in here though. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I don't have to go out to the swimming pool. The blood poster, the blood is the most noteworthy part about it. The big breast is shrinking. How you can phrase it. It's pretty noticeable too. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'll find something like this. Oh, but wait. That reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... That's right. There's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the poster have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. 2 locker room posters has been added to my investigation thing. You have been in here a lot. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I use it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay then, let me ask you something. Do you think the poster on the boys and girls' locker room could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee in the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. I don't know how that would taste coffee though. Anyway, the other day I spilled some of the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain. A stain? Oh, so that is what in the boys' ones now. But I didn't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly, I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain there to begin with. This bead stain has been added to the true bullets. Can I check something to Hero? I can feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. She was okay. Do you have anything to say? Hey Kyuko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking,
However,
but I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about, just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before we go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time thoroughly. Also, the handbook is missing. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be prepared, praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at her body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing. That's definitely worth worrying about. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? The rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that's concerning me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head, which means someone struck her with struck her in the head with an. I tried it again. Which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of the being suspended and the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think much about it either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack files, something not quite there. It's not quite right. What does all this mean? Well, the other thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, I might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Yeah, I think I have all the information I need from here. That is not the right way, I have to go back. I don't know why I felt like this was the way forward. Okay, so back to the library, because there are two things I need to check there. There is the... what's the face? Oops. The cord under the table and the Genocide Jack file. So we have this one. Guess not. Or maybe if I hit the lamp instead, actually. Huh? The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. Yago was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... There, edit. I don't know. I just checked this. He talked about the wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. So nothing really interesting in that one. At this time, Bianca grabbed that one. Bianca grabbed that one thing from over here and put it over there. It sure is dark over there. Okay, that's not really helpful. I wonder if the Genocide Jack file is here somewhere. I want to take another closer look. I know it was around here somewhere. Huh, it's gone. Did someone take it out for evidence? Wow, did someone take it out of the evidence? Archive. Wow, not evidence, I can't even read. But the only one who would do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. Okay, so we have to find him too now. That was not the right button. But let's go to the storage. What's it? The storage room is called? And talk to Celeste if she's still there. Hello. I keep forgetting I can sprint. I also remember something about being able to teleport, but I can't actually remember how to do that at all. Okay, let's go here. I also want to talk to Sayaka, actually. Not Sayaka, Hina. Seriously, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From fruit to clothes to towels. There's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I know you were going to ask me that. I've already talked about. I've already talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I will tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. She was in the warehouse. What, really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
I'm actually wondering how long it will take to sit here like that right away. That can't be an easy task. She stuffed the jacket into her bag and hurried. In a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this ever would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of a track jacket, a duffel bag. This is it she thought she was carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. That is an interesting thought. Okay, I still need to find Hina. And there's two ways to find her, either her room or somewhere in the building, and I don't know where. Or maybe she is here. That is the wrong room. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. Okay, I can't go that way. Okay. Also, actually, where is his room? I think is this one, right? Yeah. This background, I doubt there's any clues here. I wanted to talk to him. I had looked where he's hiding right now. It means I have to go check all the rooms. God dang it. I really wish that the minimap in some way, shape or form told me where people were hiding. Pretty sure none of them is in here though. Ah. Okay, let's straight the laundromat. No one here. Next off. And then I can check the hot spring even though I don't think there's anyone there either. Here's Hina at least. One down! Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out and she just keep on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmity and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko not exactly present, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of it, what are you eating? A donut, of course! And that is why I call her the Donut Girl. Or the whole internet, I think, actually called her that. Of course. There are two things I'm sure got created. Outer space and donuts. I actually like the hamster face he has right now. Really? I bet Chihiro would like to eat more donuts. Maybe that was one big regret. Or I should try to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, how did she spend time with? Who did she spend time with?
Well,
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Don't really hang out with the other girls but not much. It was like that she was trying to keep a distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Oh, it was me who was saying that, not her. I got confused sometimes. Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with opposite sex? Oh wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Ari's account. Okay, apparently the class trial is on.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
I don't feel ready for that at all.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial. One moment, by the way. There we go. I have actually spelled it wrong in the title. You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. Begin the class trial, or it's about to begin. Well, I don't think I have any choice. The red door is right through here. Well, I don't feel ready for it at all. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her here, drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. Phew. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then. Hustle into the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaka. Saki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone might, someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Let's get going. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I give a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walk through the elevator on the shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. So I gotta get the burps. The steeple sank with heavy slunken sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, an uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. I actually think I have something really I was thought of. I actually think I know where Chihiro's ebook is. The universe is unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it fresh? Isn't it exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good, good. You're rip-rapping to go. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seat. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Do I have to say that much all the time, every time? Do you want to save the game? Yes, please. Okay. Set skills. Increase the influence guard by 2. I don't have that many skills, so... increase the true bullet's rate of fire. Increases during the non-stop debate and the bullet time. Oh, I already have that up. What was the last one I had? Increase damage to the opponents when a statement is destroyed. Okay. Okay, I'm done preparing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fuck this up though.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Okay. First we have to make clear what was used to deliver the final blow. Locker room doorbell. Dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron
Oh.
pipe.
Oh, this one.
Interesting.
Wow.
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Can I get back?
Hero.
I fucked up.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears.
According to the Monokuma file.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah.
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop database. Would you like to hear more? Non-stop debates, yes please. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your throughput will disappear if you hit these lines. So think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there is a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attack the silence, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with the silence instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have to silence that. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to general, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silence and just focus on situations. I think I actually set to gentle, I don't remember though. In front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. So there should not be any white noise. Again, just because I want the story to go on. Genocide Jack's file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
I actually think the purple thing that's going on the screen is the bright noise. Where's the white noise?
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
For fuck's sake.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristics of the Genocide Jack case, which is the world is large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it is the bloody missile behind how the victim was positioned. Yeah. This one.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? I have no clue. Okay. Nope. There we go.
Now I understand.
Again, I can't spell. This is not a fair thing for me.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
There's one thing wrong though. Schizophrenia and split personality is not the same thing. And I know that because I actually have friends that is schizophrenia. And they don't switch between two persons at all. It's not even multiple person in one body at the same time. So...
Huh?
The media has kind of wronged that disease.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Exactly, that's the correct name to use for it. Not schizophrenia.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko would have been a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed?
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has in front and a back, a top, inner, and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm.
As calm as you can be.
In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can't.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I wanted Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control over again. Ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promise.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toku's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Yeah, she totally lost the marbles.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is... This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Which bullet do we have to work with? Statues of the dead body. So how it works set up.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we
I
need?
think it's that one we just had.
Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, that's the only one, so... I think it's just a good idea to go through them all before I decide.
Sorry, but I didn't kill.
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi.
When you compare the modus operandi matches.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction.
Oh, also, if you read the text around them, they said the victim suffered multiple stab wounds across his body. It says that by two of them, at least I can see from here. Oh, actually, it's the same two people. So, and there's scissors found in every murder scene. So again, I was right about
I
that.
consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Also, they hanged up by the scissors and not the rope or anything.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
I have no clue what those two things are.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There are two clear differences between the murders. In the photo from the Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. The aim, sorry.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
It's mostly the same anyways.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how it was suspended. In the photos of Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. When she was suspended? Nah, not that one. Okay, I'm not quite sure on that one.
Shoot!
Ow! Let's try it again. Oh, what was used to suspend her? Duh.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
I will though say that those scissors are pretty beefy since they don't break under the weight of people.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Yeah, all of her victim is male. There was a pattern around the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, you'll notice it. I think I guess it.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Even though it's cheating a little because Japanese names, how the fuck should I know? Again, I'm pretty sure that most of Japanese names actually are gender neutral to begin with, so that doesn't even make it easier.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Hiragata, 42, Tetsuya Honda, Soji Gaku, Kano Issei, Takashi Yeah, especially I have no clue about the names.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
And mostly because I say that is because I've heard both male and female being called Akira and stuff like that. Honda have heard for both males and female too. So I don't know if there are any gender specifics or anything. Or maybe they have actually find names that has gender specifics for this one. Or else it would be totally not possible to guess unless you look at the pictures.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
The voice actor must have had so much fun with these lines.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the genocide Jack cases. Because he knew about them?
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms, they're suspicious, very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But we didn't know it was Chihiro.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
At least at that point we didn't know.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to the non-stop debate. Okay, let's take it a look. And I have to take a drink. Because I don't do it when they talk all the time. I have to wait until I have to read stuff because I'm an idiot. Next we're going to add something called true flashbacks. If you aim at the weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorize phase can only be shot once at a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your true cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or a contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. That sounds like something. Momokumo Files number 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, he said.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Oh, so that's how it works. Okay.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who...
Nice. I think I understand it a little.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I got him cornered, but he's acting like he has nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and the Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? Yeah, I'm interested too. Let's hear what people have to say. Make your arguments. Library disc lamp.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No!
Pretty sure that.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. Stop it. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. But does that mean... can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The first one.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later. along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Bjarke, did it just take you off guard? Then the story suddenly moved to the crime scene. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Bjarke, who's been so confident up until now, maybe Bjarke never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows that the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys and the girls' locker room. I actually have a couple of things. If I can find it.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
It's easier to come by that than the other one, but the other one can be used too.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain had been scrubbed away. It was moved. Yeah.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is it right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Okay, what is my bullet? Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh?
What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
I don't know why I thought that was the wrong one. I just
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
But no, she is the ultimate programmer, so I think she fixed her own handbook somehow.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Well, actually, I don't know.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Nope.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya is the one who did it, really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial has been put on hold. We had it all with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quickly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were starting wide at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Yes, please.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
I actually think I remember who killed Chihiro now. Again, because I've seen the anime, but I actually think I do remember.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
Happens.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya's the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
He changed on a dime.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Nope.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. You need to find some more clues. So let's account. Oh, that was the, yeah.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Okay, I think there's coming something up here.
All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh god, not that one apparently.
Shoot!
Ah, at least I have a lot of heart still.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who? Well, did nobody get?
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some... Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
This one. That was... I should really listen through them all before I interrupt them.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever. Just hurry up and tell us.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship!
She already had fanfiction in her head, I think.
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
The Chihiro's track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Let's see what I get. Celeste's account. Don't think I have to use that, maybe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. 'Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Wait.
Did any of that really help us?
No way.
You heard him, right? What he...
Yeah. I can't remember his name right now, but this guy, he knew it was blue.
What do you mean?
I got it!
And Chihiro doesn't have the tracksuit on and he's deaf.
It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit.
This one is wrong. Because no one ever said a color. And only Celeste know the color.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
She stuffed the jacket into the bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he was acting. This one? Nope.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
I didn't even notice that.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
Hmm? What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then must belong to
I got it!
Chihiro's?
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
2 out of 15?
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible. By exploding, by hitting its weak part. Exploring a bug? Nope.
Shoot!
I'm really not good at this. By hacking it? Nope.
Shoot!
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm guessing it right now.
I got it!
I'm not good
you
at this.
You told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
You could make a rule in the regulations about not breaking the handbooks.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Yeah, and he had his with him in the... Actually, now that I think about it, he has his with him in the sauna for all that time, and he's broke. So he switched his out to Leon's instead and uses that one to get into the bathrooms. Or change locker rooms things. And because of that, he knew that, then... I don't know. He broke heroes?
I flippin' knew it!
I have no clue why he would break 2 of them. I can imagine why he break 1, because that was his own.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried.
I really like this music, by the way.
That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought the handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wrote all their clothes into the sauna. It was... yeah. Help me! Let's see... where is he? There. Because the other guy didn't have the clothes on.
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I didn't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond the shadow of the doubt. I did? Broken handbook, Chihiro's handbook, card reader. Okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
That was not what I wanted to do.
Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I didn't mean to change it.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No?
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
No? Do I actually have to change it?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Maybe I have to copy his statement and shoot the other one. Now that I think about it. Let's try that.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's hand, then that proves that what
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
Nope. I really have no clue.
Shoot.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words,
I am so confused right now.
If Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No. I fucking have no clue.
Shoot.
Again, I find these really confusing.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Is it this one?
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
I am fucking failing this trial right now.
Handbook works just fine.
I am fucking failing this one right now. I have no...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
See? Makoto was wrong after all!
Okay, I literally only have one choice left and I have no clue how...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
I have no clue.
Shoot!
Isn't it only statements that I can copy-paste? I am so confused about this right now.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Please tell me I can just progress from this point on. I don't... Didn't this ask me to give up and not? I have to do the fucking class trial all over. Okay, I think I can get through the most of it real fast here. Because I think I remember the most of it.
If you can then
I am so confused right now about that part.
Chihiro's fatal, and it appears it was a...
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a... What kind of blunt instrument could it have...
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong!
Okay, let's speed through this as fast as possible.
Can we agree that it was...
And the wound on the victim's head, as far as you...
If, although... What? Chihiro fiend... The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
Oh, that was not what I wanted.
Closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
I forgot that I had to press another button to speed that 6 up, so it shot me a mistake.
I guess it's something. What?
More important, according to the first. But more. Never. Why don't you?
I got it.
I tried to remember.
Apparently,
However. So there's a. It's because no.
You're saying...
Yes. Genocide Jack's
Hey, Toko!
is to no.
Okay, at least I can do some of the puzzles pretty fast. Just waiting for an O to...
now I understand. Is it because Jenna's... I think they thought...
Okay. So far.
I got it! You're talking...
That's...
Oh, this is taking forever to get through right now.
Not to, in other...
So
It just annoys me. I have no clue what fuck I did wrong.
The reason she it was to keep
what?
Toko.
Yeah.
What she no. Last night she and that trepidation is what's.
This is what?
You have this. Besides, you said that buttons.
At least, since I can speed through the text right now, at least we can get faster front.
How many? But you weren't. But you're. Well.
That's the only thing I hate by streaming in comparison to video, because video you can just cut out things like this.
This. Yes, just look hot. What's that? So, well, I'll tell you. Yes, of course, and I mean, sure, it's a necessary.
This there's a mo. Remember, if well, if a so.
But I cannot.
Maybe.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Something still bothers me. Detail about it all. Okay. I think this was the one where you learned the copy ability. Or not.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any?
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Yeah, this one was the wrong one.
Or the method I think...
Well then... I can imagine you put what happened to be like if this is not...
Let me rephrase that. There are two clear differences.
Okay. This
This
one?
For one, according to... But Chihiro died fine. Wouldn't it be... And there's...
That's right. Then the...
Please...
Yeah. Because I don't read it, I don't know who it, which one it is sometimes.
What is it? Well...
So I'm trying to remember.
Specific...
And guess like a Big Mac list. Huh? My word, there's a... figure that...
I got it! Is it because... In all the...
Okay. So far, so good.
They were all...
The hell is... Now I'm...
So since we get... It's a...
That. Are you
I didn't expect we have to go through all this again. That annoys me a little. But I also have no clue what the fuck I did wrong.
Not to mention, I have no clue.
But
Yeah.
Nope! Ah, for fuck's sake.
Shoot.
Yeah, that was my own fault. I thought those two were beside each other. They're not. I actually took the long way around to get to him.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's you'd have no problem. Plus,
Then because
I see. Then I.
the way you.
I should have napped the victim.
On the contrary.
Okay, then go ahead.
Okay, this one is the reading thing.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out, that's a natural rip.
The victim was Chihiro, who was.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, so far so good.
I'll tell you what's so because up in so you're claiming.
I see. Interesting.
Huh? What's
What?
There is more. We just talked about the differences
I
between.
actually want to check something. Options. Oh. There's one thing that's confusing me. I can't even see it here.
The proof you're looking.
Oh.
Damn it. I'm really confused about my what is it called?
The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own and I use those same scissors to arrange.
But Chihiro was some kind of rope.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy.
hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Ah, come on!
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
Ah.
What? The difference between you want me to explain when I want to kill, I use my very own and I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was some kind of rope.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it?
I'd never seen that rope before.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Okay,
Actually, because
some of the things in this game sometimes irritates me a little. It is a fun game though.
you and this when and there
And Byakuya must.
That's I is that. What's wrong?
Hell yes.
I don't disagree.
Kept calling this.
This is
sorry,
taking way longer
I never
Is that I kissed?
than I expected.
I got it. You say you but are you
How? What? She? How?
well along with
That would.
I believe
Hey! Don't
Come on. If there's.
Where is it?
I got it. The proof that you're the public hit. Why would the girls
I bet.
Meanwhile, a poster up again. That's so. And there's one other. You know what I'm talking.
You're referring to my. Well, what I know.
I got it.
There we go.
Stain on. In fact, that to move the. In other words, in the blood by doing this, the killer was...
I can't. Huh? Why would they go? Actually, then how to get it? But she no. I have. Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten you?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer. I'm sure that would have been...
No, I don't think she used the thing that was in the main...
Huh? What?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, so far so good.
No. Why? Because...
Oh. I am struck silent. Actually, in other...
Yep.
Of course. So...
Maybe it seems...
Okay. Hold on, I agree with you.
What the? There's no...
Why?
What?
What are you talking about? Well, why don't we...
Wait.
Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
Well, all right.
Halfway point.
Oh.
Still wish there was a faster way to skip through all this. It's a lot of backtracking. Maybe just because I picked the wrong
I'd like you
answer.
Thanks. No, wait.
It's
Very...
But you're a girl.
No. So just...
What is this? That's not...
Okay, I'm...
be sure.
Her and... What if... Not... This...
Is...
Is... I...
Chihiro?
Chihiro?
Okay, almost for this.
Now...
I really hope I can get the case file before 3 minutes today.
Yes. And because...
Assuming...
So then, the victim and the... I still don't understand.
Well, I knew he felt... So now...
Okay, well...
What about...
Well, but I think he might not actually... What? But he just the way he's...
And you think that might...
Plus, he consciously, at least, and Byakuya. And then, if you really were...
So it's fine. I guess...
Market.
He's... I just...
Are you... No.
Go ahead.
If you're...
My reason... Now...
No, because if we're wrong...
That's true.
Damn.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's...
Excellent.
But if Vanguard didn't do it, then who is the killer? What is Chihiro? I think it's sort of, the killer is a guy. So this is our account. Okay, I remember this one.
Isn't there a single clue that might... Well...
Please, did nobody get a look at the...
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be...
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh, god dang it. I thought it was her.
Shoot!
And there goes the heart again. I make it...
Isn't there a single
Nope.
clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah. All we need right...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the killer? And only the...
This one was the one I'm looking for.
I believe someone else...
Now, oh, the rest. It was last night. And then,
It seems like...
and that. But so,
But he probably...
which means that conversely enough.
The point would no. Think back to focus on the detail.
Are you? You really think we can fix?
Why?
even as...
Maybe. Easy for but the that oh
Well, if you think there might...
perhaps.
Okay. We're back to the jacket color, I think, now.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was on his way, so next we have... Why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! He picked that tracks. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit?
No, that's wrong.
Okay, almost back. This is taking way too long time.
She never... So what are you... Hey!
As a man.
And before we began
The only...
I'm sure he...
No, the bad...
Then the only reason he is if he's... So, how that...
Just...
No. Once, if you just ran...
It would have perhaps focused.
Ah, you're truly...
That's right. Mondo was... That's a good question.
Okay. The way he talked, I know that now.
There was a certain term... Maybe you only call God and that once... No, not...
Mondo,
Did you die? I didn't. You've been all over me. What gives you? Yeah.
It's...
that...
Well, this does...
Oh, yeah, really? Actually... It happened...
You found it on the ground, right? That must belong to
I got it!
Chihiro.
We know for...
I was good at my...
I imagine.
That's odd.
You're their total.
And yet, for all...
I got it!
There we go.
You already...
But it
Then we can... You know what...
but just then allow when it's exposed.
Okay,
The
we
temperature in this it's if the hot
should be back to...
Anyway, then the...
meaning.
But how they...
Indeed.
What if...
What do you mean?
What if they'd... And once they...
I won't.
I don't know.
I might know...
And now I took the long way around again.
Here's my answer. Mondo. Mondo. And but little did he realize. And when it...
No, I don't...
Okay, and now we are back at the one I failed at last time. Can I read other things than just the normal sentences is what I have to figure out right now.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he
No, I
says
can't.
is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay, so there really are only two possibilities, so I have no clue how I failed it.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Damn it!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay, because of this, I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during the sauna showdown. If we can just prove that, then that will show that the handbook Mondo is must actually be
Let's test
Chihiro's
Makoto's
handbook.
assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is, then that proves that...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Why?
Shoot!
What am I doing? What am I not getting right here? I'm so confused. I literally have no idea.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Why did I do that?
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
I have no fucking clue. I have two things I can shoot at, and I have no clue which right. Okay, I normally wouldn't do this, but I really have to figure that out. Because there's something here I really don't understand. Eh? Okay, this...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct...
Okay, apparently it's this one.
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is then that proves...
Well, my goddamn handbook works...
I tried that so many times. Did I not try that one?
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
Did I miss that one the first time around, maybe? I'm so confused.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Oh god. I actually forgot about this part. Okay. Okay, this one must be the first one. After that, put it in. I really wish you could see what these were. Not just like pictures, but actually text. Because that is what's confused me one of the most things, is that I don't know what they mean. I have no clue. Again, because I don't know what these means. I have no clue what the text is. Is there any way help? This is not help. That doesn't help me. Oh, wait a second. Okay, let's go a little further. That's just wrong. I don't know. Again, I find these really confusing. I actually think this one needs to be here. Let's try this. I don't know.
Is you. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
I think those small hints, bubbles, they could have done a lot better because you have no clue what they mean when you see them all the time. And that confuses the shit out of me.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Yeah, that is wrong. And I'm almost dead. Okay, maybe this one instead. Like this.
The killer is you! With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Ah, god dang it. See, that's what I mean. I have no clue what they mean by these. I literally have no clue which one it is. This one maybe, I don't know.
The killer is you!
And I probably failed because of this again. Ugh, that's
Bag in
annoying.
hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her, but how could the victim?
Okay, finally.
Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there.
Yeah, this is probably
And
wrong.
the person he met was the one who killed him.
Yep. I really don't like those picture frames things, and I hated it the last time too. Give it another shot. Yes. Okay, I read it wrong.
Refuse to give up yet.
Okay, at least I can start from here. Okay. The first one here we know already. Here we need to get in cards and this one. I'm not sure about this one at all. This one maybe. This. I think this is wrong, but I don't know. I don't think this is right either. Because I actually think this should be this one. So this is still too early. This doesn't seem right. First off, this one away. This one here. I have no clue. Something about. This is literally my best guess right now.
The killer is you.
Okay.
First, let's take a look back to.
We know this
Last
is right.
night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
I'm pretty sure this is wrong. Yeah. I just don't... The only one I can see should be this one.
Here's exactly what happened.
Don't tell me I have to take him from the start. Okay.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Thank you.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro.
That doesn't really look like grabbing at all.
And attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, then, removing the bloody poster.
Yeah. I knew this one was wrong. This one really, I have no clue.
The killer is you! Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Nope. I have no clue. Because this one looks like something that has to do with the next picture, not this first one here. It would be weird to have the same picture twice in a row. And he's not in before here. Unless this one is too early, maybe. But then I'm missing something there instead. I have no clue. I'm so lost.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing... And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks
that is
had been
wrong.
placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
It's probably the handle thing. No, it's just right.
And that's exactly how the killer did.
I would have switched those two around, actually.
With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Finally!
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer, that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If you can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once you do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to the bullets. Oh god, new things. Let's talk about fever time and nigga time. Nigga? Negate time? During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, five time will activate. Fever time will activate, and the timer will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the button at random, you won't miss. So you can push left mouse button, right mouse, left button, destroy the opponent's assaults. But this only lasts until the focus guard runs out, so make the best possible use of the time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you get access to a specific time, right? So we also prepared something called negate. Oh, I think it stands for negate time. That our opponent can use. If the opponent's activated negate time during a bullet time battle, your timer marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tough to hit the buttons at the rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing will happen. I don't know what's okay. Unsurprisingly, if your activated difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use negate time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, let's get this over with.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
I had no clue about that. That was weird.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
It was horrible. I'm impressed I even got an A on this.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, here we go again.
What?
Oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada. In case you're wondering, the vote was not anonymous. Unanimous. Kyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimura. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mundo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control keys for fast forward the text. I'm fine. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extremely infuriated complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He's heard the things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into this weakness, to take on a fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, then the infuriating complex has already taken root deep inside of him, and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun, here at the school, he had no choice but to accept his fate. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, don't survive. And then the lovely and heartful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secret. This, of course, included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dressed like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall apart. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being tossed into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet,
I'm sorry.
I didn't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Wow. Annoyingly, he used the treat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that will be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to,
Yeah, that's right.
it was me. Yep, it's your words. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro's probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, not Momo, his honor would make him keep it secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mando was the very symbol of strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me more courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support could he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that is exactly what I meant. Wasn't that a cover-up that what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made with Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep it secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbooks, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right? So why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it, after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
What? Impossible! That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the highest of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, you already can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we are on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate bike gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother named Daija Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daija that Mondo even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the impediment of a stray-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, he had grown into the biggest bike gang in the country. Daija, the older brother, number one of the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peachy and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw at Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daija, huh? Daija created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All they'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daija. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come up with a top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager of victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, lying in his kid brother's arms, his older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry." Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daija never blamed him for what happened. "Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men." He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together, he kept a promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daija was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation of what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and happily Momokuma announced the revealing of the Imperator's secrets. At this point, it was clear I would have no problems shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the gang members find out. If that happened, everyone would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create wouldn't been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I... Mondo. After I saw what Momokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of a fuzzy uneasiness, and just started twirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say. But after a while, the fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety, weighed down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Huh? Cause, I mean, you kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been telling myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. I can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So, what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying
What?
if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Wonder. I felt like I could hear something starting to crack. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to just sit back and let secrets get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just
No,
wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daija. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey. I killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Wonder? He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his. And it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for memory. For that he killed anyone living human is cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope everywhere in there? Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as you want. Is that what you want? Is what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because it's time for punishment. The time for punishment is past approaching. Punishment?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blanket that disturbed the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
From Momondo Owada, the ultimate bike gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Well, here we go. Let's see what it is this time. Momokuma with the banana. Nice. I actually didn't remember that. The Gates of Death. I got fucking naked. Mundo butter. That is certainly something. Don't think that's how you make butter though, and I don't want any. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother? Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Tiger's assassin screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize this once again. But of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Yakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? The rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be
Well,
done.
I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room. Which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girl's locker room. After he had gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? You was such a fool. He didn't have a slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So, you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that hadn't been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right in the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helpful hand. I thought it would have livened things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing what Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to just use that? To create a fake murder scene? But damn man, if you hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Younger turned and looked me in the eyes. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing me into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, I never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become Black, I now know who will have the watch out for. Well,
Correct.
so that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Move on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask you, Momokuma.
What's this?
I'm up next.
You...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know, it's punishment, it's despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all the despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck? Damn it.
Good grief. I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as a victor. And when everything will be real to me.
Ooh,
No,
how exciting.
the noble son of a noble family, truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understood?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Tokagami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all
Oh,
riled up.
so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whenever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, sounds like someone needs a nap. Marukuna laughed, paled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blunt puppy in hell and had more of the future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I like to. There's one thing I like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16 high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
I actually don't remember that from the anime. Okay, 2 more down. Damn. Okay, let's save here. And actually also end off stream because I've gone on for an hour longer than I expected, just because I failed the trial and then there was all this exposition at the end. I did not expect it to go on for this long. Actually, the trial, I've been going for the trial for like 3 hours, haven't I? How long did the investigation take? Like 1 or 2 hours? 1 hour, I think, only? Damn. Anyways, I will end off stream for today, so thank you all for stopping by that did and looking in the background. And I will see you all again next week, so bye!